Good morning. This morning I'm going to show you how to change the glow plugs on a 2016 Vauxhall Insignia. But a couple of things I'm going to run through first, which is not like me, but I believe it's important. Now, I had a vehicle service sign come up on the dash, and that does not mean you've got to book it in for a service. It means there's a problem with the car. Now, to book it into Vauxhall for them to do a diagnostic check, which I will say is my local Vauxhall dealer in Crawley, they change their name so often I can't even remember what they're called, is £147 to find out what the problem is. However, a friend of mine, I took it over to another spurious dealer. They plugged a diagnostic machine in. Within 5 seconds they told me it was a glow plug problem. It took them honestly less than 3 minutes to plug it in, tap it in, number 4 glow plug. Vauxhall wanted £147 to do a diagnostic check. Anyway, we move on. I thought it was the glow plugs because on very cold mornings the car only starts on a few cylinders, and once it gets going it's okay. However, that is not definite. So I found out that it's a glow plug problem. Okay. Now the next thing you have to be aware of is what type of glow plugs you buy for this car. You have to be sure of what type of Vauxhall engine you have. Now mine is the B20 DTH engine. I say again, the B20 DTH. Now if you go onto some websites looking for glow plugs, they will list NGK glow plugs for this car. Anyway, I go onto websites and they list an NGK part number. I go onto the NGK website and they list another NGK part number. Anyway, I phoned NGK up. They do not do a glow plug for the Bravo 20 DTH engine. However, NGK do glow plugs for the A20DT engine, the A20DTH engine and the A20DTJ engine. Now in my opinion, to be sure you get the correct glow plugs for your car, you either go to Vauxhall or Euro Car Parts. Euro Car Parts supply the VM, which means vehicle manufacturer's glow plugs for the car. Now Vauxhall, I saw online somebody said they're going to charge over 300 quid to change 4 glow plugs, because you should change all 4, which is what I'm going to do. So what I've decided to do is do the job myself. Now let's make one thing clear. I'm not a car mechanic, and what you take from this is entirely down to you. All the information I'm given is what I've gleaned online and through reading. So let's get going. What you need to do this WD-40. Now what I've been doing over the last 3 days when I've driven the car is I've sprayed some WD-40 where the glow plugs are, and I've got the car running outside now so it's nice and warm when we change them. The next thing you need is copper slip, and what you do when you fit the glow plugs, you put this on the thread, and this stops the thread attaching itself to the cylinder head through electrolysis or corrosion. So that basically means you'll be able to get a glow plug out should you need to in the future. The next thing you need is a torque wrench. These are torqued down to 10 Newton meters. You tighten them down any more, you are going to strip the thread. Now when you try and undo these glow plugs, I suggest 8 or 9 Newton meters of force to undo them. If you start to struggle with them, or you do not feel confident, or you do not have a torque wrench, or even with the torque wrench it becomes a struggle, I suggest you book the car into the dealer and pay the bill. Because if you snap a thread on one of these inside the cylinder head, you're into a world of expense. Yes, you can fix it. Yes, it can be done. There's no long-term damage, but people who've got more experience of doing this will have a far better idea of how to get a sticky glow plug out. Obviously you need an extended socket so you can reach down, over, onto the glow plug, down into the head. And obviously a 1/2 inch wrench to make it easier for undoing it rather than wielding round a torque wrench. My long reach socket is 10mm. You see people on there saying 9mm. So what I did was I brought a 9 and a 10mm deep reach socket just so I got it right, and mine is 10mm like this. But as I say, the most important thing is if you find yourself struggling or they do not budge, take the car to a dealer, because you really do not want the grief. Now we've got the engine of the car running outside now. It should be warm. I'm going to spray some WD-40 where the glow plugs are, and we're going to start, and fingers crossed. Anyway, let's go and give it a go and see how we get on. Thank you. Okay, the first thing you do is remove the engine cover, which is easy. It just clips here, 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 and it's off. And obviously you put the cap back. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is spray some WD-40 onto the glow plugs. The engine's warm. We're going to let that settle in for a few minutes. I'm going to try and show you where the glow plugs are for those that don't know. There's one there, and I move across, and there's one there, and you can see they're like little spark plugs, you see, and I've got to pull these caps off. Anyway, I'll show you this happening as we do it. Thank you. The first thing you do is you pull the cap off like that. I'm going to do one at a time. So as you can see, the cap's now off. Okay, we've set our torque wrench to 9 Newton meters. And you're reaching over, put it on, and move. And that's out. And there we are. That's one glow plug. Okay, copper slip on the thread so this plug does not corrode against the head, and you put the glow plug back in the hole. I'll try to find the hole. There we go, that's easy. And the first thing I'm going to do is do this gently. Make sure that I find the thread. There we go, that's in. And I'll set this to 10 Newton meters of torque, which I've done. That's it. And that's one done. Right, the second glow plug, pull the cap off, and as I say, I've set this to 9 Newton meters, so I am not hopefully going to damage this. And there you go, and that was on the limit. Thank you very much. Right, the second glow plug. Copper slip on the thread. Push it into the hole. I can see that, which is good. And what you do is, you do this by hand. You do not want to strip the thread. If you strip the thread, you're in a real bad place. And you just turn it and turn it and turn it. So it goes into the head. Like that. Then you put on the torque wrench, and this is important. I've got it set to 10, so there you go, 10, and back on. Thank you. Okay, this last one, I'm going to do it without cutting it. I'm just going to show you how easy it is. So you pull off the cap hard and it makes a little click, which you probably didn't hear. You set the wrench to under 10, 9 as we have, and it's undone. So you always use the torque wrench. So I undo the torque wrench. You then take this out gently, turning it by hand. I can see it's coming out, but there we go. If I can have the copper slip pop, please. Show you me doing this. I put some copper slip. Have you got a tissue or anything? Go in my car, I need to get this off my hand. That's it, perfect. And we just gently drop this into the hole, not forcing it. There we go. And I use this here, just doing it gently by hand. And as I say, you don't force it onto the thread. The torque wrench. I've reset to 10, you don't need to see me do that. So I've put that back to 10 Newton meters. I'll take this off, push it into the torque wrench. That's the wrong way. Oh no, it isn't, that's the right way, it's clockwise. Dunce. And here it click, 10 Newton meters, easy. And all I do now is just push back the cap, and that's done. And I've changed 4 glow plugs in the stage of a few minutes. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has been of help. Thank you. Okay, we'll start the engine. Fine. Okay, so to finish off, you undo the fuel cap, sorry, the diesel oil cap, fuel cap, what a dunce, push this back on. Clips on nicely. It's easy, isn't it? Close this up. Job done. 4 glow plugs changed. Thank you for watching.